You don't have to hide who you are. Your journey is powerful, beautiful, and nothing to be ashamed of. My name is Peter Abundant, aka Dr. Abundant, PhD and ordained minister of metaphysical sciences, which is ultimately the study of spirituality. I am also the author of The Enlightened Shadow and Spiritual, Not Religious, which is available on Amazon. When it comes to your spiritual journey, many times we hit a point where we feel a sense of shame, a sense of feeling out of place, maybe even feeling weird about the journey that you're on, because you start to understand that your journey is really unique, right? And the reason why it is so unique is because you are unique. Each one of us is unique. Your journey won't look like anybody else's journey. The thing about the spiritual journey is that it is individualized. It is customized to who you are truly deep down. And many of us, we start this spiritual journey from the educations of religion. And religion can be very appealing because oftentimes it looks like, well, all of these people agree to the same thing and we all unite as a community. We discuss the same concepts and understandings, and therefore this is something that may be a good fit for me. But when you go down that religious journey, you find that there is something missing, and that is ultimately the individual understanding, the individual connection, the individual perspective and meanings to even the things you understand collectively as a religion. You may recognize that you see those things slightly different. You see, no two Christians are the same. No two Muslims, no two Buddhists are the same. As an individual, as a individualized expression of consciousness, you will have your own unique perspective and understanding, your own meaning, your own understanding of even the things that can be defined and pinpointed as a definition of what this is, right? What we as Christians are, what we as Muslims are, what we as Buddhists, what we as even spiritualists are and do. But you find that that's not true. It's a generalization. And many times that is why people seek out religion, because they are not alone. This spiritual journey can feel like a lonely one. But I want you to understand that really you are not alone, because we are all in the same boat. We are all figuring it out. The issue is, for many of us, when we are figuring it out, we feel a sense of urgency, which is driven by a sense of fear that if you don't figure it out, something bad is going to happen to you. Perhaps when you, like we all do, right, finally pass away and move on to the next place. A lot of times religion has implanted these ideas of fear within us. But the good news is when you take on this spiritual journey, you eventually get to a place of understanding that there is nothing to fear. You eventually get to the understanding that as consciousness, as an infinite being, there is no sense of feeling like you're going to go to a bad place, right? But as you are on this journey currently, you face a few obstacles. One of them is the idea of shame or judgment, right? Feeling a sense of guilt because you're restricted by past belief systems, right? Fear of even being misunderstood, and you need to allow yourself the grace to recognize that you are on this journey, and nobody can really, as much as religion tries to do that, no one can really guide you through this journey. No one can actually hold your hand. No one can actually say exactly what to do when particular things that are unique to you happen in your life. You have to just take ownership. You have to just recognize what it is that you desire. And you have to take, true accountability for your journey and for who you are. Now, again, sometimes that journey can be nerve-wracking. You can feel a sense of fear and anxiety. You can even be depressed as a result of it. But eventually, you get over that hump and you recognize that, hey, I am an individualized expression of that which we call the universe. Some people even call it God. And if we all essentially go through this journey, right, even though it's an individualized journey, we all experience that together, that sense of figuring it out, that sense of even a little bit of loneliness. Because, yeah, we often wish that somebody can hold our hand every step of the way. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes. The best we can do is give each other support in the form of encouragement, in the form of love, compassion, empathy, right? Because that's really all we need. We need to just simply recognize that, hey, even though I am going through my unique journey alone, we can still walk our paths parallel to one another. We can still cross paths in support of one another. And so you have to really own your truth fully. You have to recognize what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're questioning, wondering about, what it is that you're thinking. You have to speak, you have to live, and you have to stand on what feels aligned with your spirit. Now, that doesn't mean that you just blatantly just say whatever's on your mind. Yes, you want to practice things like empathy, compassion, grace. You want to be tactful and mindful, considerate about what it is that you feel and how you express that, because you don't want to be apologetic about what you say, right? You want to be unapologetic about how you feel and acknowledging that feeling, but how you say it is very important. And that relates to recognizing the connection between yourself and the other person, seeing the other person as an extension of yourself to a degree, right? So as you are on this journey of recognizing your spiritual path, you must understand that it is unique, right? You must identify the customization of your life as it relates to you and what you're going through. It's important not to get too caught up, too involved with what other people are going through and feeling a sense of envy, feeling a sense of jealousy, right? Because you have to recognize that what is going on in their life is built for them, is made for them. They essentially created that for themselves. And though there may be things that you can identify and say, hey, I kind of desire that too, well, you have to still figure it out to a certain degree how you materialize that for yourself. And dealing with the, ideas and limiting beliefs and past beliefs and programs that were implanted by your parents and family and culture and society, you have to reprogram and realign yourself with that which you desire, you see? So you have to honor each stage of this process we call spirituality. You have to recognize that even the moments where when you look back on it, you say, wow, I wish I could have, learned more or been more deeply involved in my spiritual development. What I want you to understand is you were. Many of us who were really caught up and involved in religion or not involved in any, really conscious or mindful spiritual practices, when we are at a point where we value this journey, we are really involved in the journey, we often can look back and say, I wish I was this involved back then. Well, I want you to know that that was your journey. Because the simple fact that you can look back and gain perspective as to where you are now and the value that you're getting along this journey, and you look back and say, hey, I wish I had done this before, what happens is it's giving you perspective. It's giving you a sense of contrast, understanding of value in the now. You see, because had you gone through all of these, spiritual lessons and recognition of, spirituality and who you are as you relate to other people and the path that you're on and creating all that you desire. If you had gone and done that in the past, right now you would be a different person, right? And you assume that the person you would be will be more fulfilled and happy, but you don't know that for sure, right? it's clear to me that the journey that you're on is by far the best journey that you can be on. And you have to come into that understanding because that would allow you to be in a place of gratitude for all that has happened, even all that has not happened by way of you not being as involved as you would think, you wish you had been. So understand that this journey is about, again, honoring every stage of the growth, right? Every phase, every moment of doubt, every detour is all a part of your spiritual expansion. It's all a part of the growth. Okay. You have to just take ownership and recognize that right now is a gift. Right now is the best and the only opportunity. So take that moment, embrace it, be mindful, be aware, express your love, express your gratitude for every single thing you can in this moment, whether it be watching this video, listening to this audio, reading that book, spending time with that person, being alone by yourself in a space of peace, in a space of gratitude, in a space of understanding that you get to decide how exactly you're going to create and how you're going to live this life. Recognizing who you are, recognizing that you are unique, you are special, you are gifted, you are talented. And this journey is about recognizing those gifts and those talents and living out your unique self, expressing your unique essence. All right. So though, yes, we take our individual journey alone, because we are all doing that at the same time, essentially, what does that mean? It means we're not alone. Isn't that ironic, right? It just seems like, wow, what a interesting contrast of perspective and duality, right? That though nobody can step in your shoes, right? You cannot step in anybody else's shoes. Literally, you can do it figuratively. You can try to be mindful and consider what somebody's going through, but you're really considering it from your consciousness, from your perspective. So you have to recognize that though you can connect with them as deeply as possible, you are still you. And you have to be compassionate about that because you may want to give advice. You may want to give perspective. You may even want to judge. But the simple fact is, every single one of us is doing the very best we can with what we have. And so you have to gain a sense of respect and honor for each one of us out here really doing our best and recognizing that though some people may have the conceptual knowledge, they don't have the discipline, they don't have the grit, they don't have the ability to actually express it, right? To move forward. And you have to just simply honor they are where they are, just like you are where you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So as we take this journey, we do so with giving ourselves grace. We do so by honoring ourselves, honoring the process, honoring and being in love with the growth that you are, experiencing and expressing. So what I want you to understand is that this journey is one that you have to really come into recognizing that there is no way, right, that you can step away from the journey. There is no way that you can choose or be or experience somebody else in somebody else's journey. This is yours. So be proud, right? Maintain it, take care of it, polish it, nurture it, right? Water it. Your life is a seed. Your life is a piece of art. Your life is an expression of yourself. Honor it like you would honor God, like you would honor the universe, okay? Like you would honor the cosmos or whatever deity that you identify with. Because guess what? Your consciousness is an expression of that thing. And when you recognize that, then it puts things in serious perspective, because now you have to acknowledge that that is there within you all the time. And so when you realize, okay, this God is within me, and I am living out this life, and I have my moments of, feeling bad, feeling shame, feeling weird, feeling out of place. It is because I'm not connecting with that source. I'm not connecting with my true self. And so when you acknowledge that, then you begin to really take ownership. One, you begin to actually recognize that, wait, if this is within me, then because it is, it expresses everything out perfectly. Even though based on your ego, it doesn't seem perfect at the time, right? Because your ego is full of judgment. Your ego is full of shame, is full of hurt, is full of fear. So you have to learn how to not identify with the ego and understand your pure consciousness, and thus move forward with the recognition that it is expressing everything perfectly, even when it's not perfect, right? Those perfect imperfections, those are simply messages telling you to align yourself with what you truly desire, with who you truly are. So though the path at this moment may seem weird, it may seem out of place, it is in perfect place, because it seems out of place because it needs to be brought to your awareness. When things are out of place, right? If I go to your house and I take your refrigerator and I put it in your bathroom, you're going to be like, what the hell? This is out of place. This is not where this goes, right? It's in your awareness that this is not the place for this. And you need to then align it, right? Move things around to make sure things are in its proper place. See, these are what all of these, challenges and struggles and, bad relationships and issues with money, those are all that is, right? It's just the refrigerator being in the bathroom. And then you have to figure out how to move this fridge and put it in the kitchen where it belongs. So as you go through this journey, right, it can be something as obvious as financial struggles, but it can also represent in ways that are more, intangible, things that are more internal, more emotional, more even psychological, right? So you have to figure out what's the best way for me to deal with this, for me to process this, for me to get through this, for me to overcome and direct this, to control this. So you have to recognize that this journey is not one, you are not one to be ashamed of, right? You are one to actually recognize as beautiful, as powerful, as amazing, right? You exist to have a experience of abundance. The thing is, you have to take ownership of that. It won't just simply happen without a sense of effort, without a sense of putting things into practice, without a sense of being diligent. But once you recognize all the things that you have to, again, put in place, and you actually put in the work to do so, then you become the mastermind of your life. And you then understand that you are a creator of your reality, and then you create the reality that you want by putting things in its proper place. So really acknowledge the fact that you are a creator. And I really want you to take away that all the odd and weird things and challenging things that happens in your life, they are just there to wake you up. They are just there to help and support you. They are just there to simply give you what you need. All right. They are simply there to help you embrace your truth, to recognize your truth, So please have no shame about your spiritual journey. It is what it is, right? I am that I am, right? You are who you are. Your journey is your journey. There is no way you can step away from that journey, all right? That is as much a part of you as, hot a part of the sun. You just cannot separate the two. Okay. So embrace that, love it. Okay. Nurture it, own it, be proud, you know, be proud. And I'm not talking pride in the sense of, egotistical pride. I'm talking about proud in the sense that, recognizing that it is beautiful. It is a gift. It is an honor to be here. I want you to say, it is an honor to be here and to be me. It is an honor to be here and to be me. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.